Africa Day, a big day for the continent, celebrating the formation of the Organization of African Unity. But the question is, what does it mean for a country like South Africa and cities like Johannesburg? I caught up with Soufre Klete Sue for the record.
Africa Day comes to remind us about who we are, what we are, and in fact, what we want to achieve and change, not only from the personal level, from the regional level, but from the international level, where we'll be able to look at Africa and try to define it differently from the past, from moving away from talking too much about slavery, from talking too much about colonialism, but taking the history and trying to create a new platform. How can we as African people move forward with a different look at the world?
Why should South Africa embrace its African identity? It is self-sufficient, it is a flourishing economy as you've described. Why should it embrace its African identity, Pan-African identity?
Well, that question can be answered in two ways, Peter. Firstly, we're looking at the political side of it. When Mandela was president, I, as a young man, at the age of 10, I knew that was my president. But I was a young boy in Southern Cameroon, in Bamenda, and I only knew Mandela. And that resonated in me, and up to now, about 3 decades later, I said to myself, I'm going to come to South Africa and I'm going to learn how to be a good leader who can sacrifice for the people. Starting from there, we can now begin to learn how this nation, which is blessing, which is gold, which is power, which is people, the harmony, the love, can now transform to the rest of the continent. Because whether South Africa likes it or not, this land is blessed. This land is loved. This land has to therefore open up, give out, and teach. Because one thing the rest of Africa needs to learn from here, which makes Africa Day important, is to come back to the drums of democracy. The rest of Africa, particularly the Francophone side of Africa, where we come from, has completely crucified democracy. The judiciary is a sham, the legislature is fallacy, and nothing works when it comes to
South Africa can teach a lot, but I'm sure that South Africa can learn a lot as well. What can South Africa benefit from the rest of the continent, so that when we think about Africa Day, it's a day where they can embrace the Pan-African identity, but can say, I can be more if I learn this, if I learn that, if I embrace this?
Yes, actually, South Africa has the advantage, the economic advantage of Africa. South Africa needs to invest in Africa. We don't need to import resources, materials from India, from China. Africa has all the timber South Africa needs, all the gold South Africa needs, all the water resources South Africa needs, the coffee, the diamond. We in South Africa has seen the development in Johannesburg, which is the economic mother of Africa. So therefore, South Africa should take this advantage. South Africa should benefit from the rest of Africa, economically, as I've said, politically, by sending its envoys to be able to mediate into the conflicts of Africa, the conflicts in Southern Cameroon and Bazonia, the conflicts in Chad, the conflicts in Central Africa, the conflicts in Sudan, the conflicts in Somalia. South Africa has to put a more voice to stand as that big brother now, because whether South Africa likes it or not, the impact of being silent is going to cause more flow of illegal immigration, and that is going to affect the economy. But if South Africa takes up that step of saying, look, enough is enough of me being silent. I am the big brother. I can be able to intervene. I can be able to make sure there's peace. I can be able to look at this issue and say, no, at the level of Africa and up to the level of the United Nations, South Africa should tell Africa that, look, let's work together in that platform that she is, because, of course, whether she likes it or not, like I said before, she has the economic and the political benefit and the political advantage to be able to navigate from the smallest country in Africa and the youngest country in Africa, let's take, for example, South Sudan, to mediate in affairs like that for being peace, so that when they get to the levels of the United Nations General Assembly, the United Nations Security Council, South Africa will therefore benefit because they will get that support.